Welcome back to the channel. Let's unbox the brand new Oculus Quest 2 VR headset from Facebook. Now I know this headset came out a couple of months ago, but this still is the current option from Facebook. If you do want an Oculus, the Quest 2 is still very relevant and very current technology from them, and I have it right here in front of me. Now before I actually unbox this product, I do want to tell you my story about VR and my past experiences, because I do have 3 past experiences with VR headsets. I've used the very old Samsung Gear VR headsets from way back in the day, and then one of my most recent VR experience has to be the PlayStation VR headset for the PlayStation 4. I never really got into things like PC VR, and I know that's a whole nother world, and that's supposed to be the best money can buy when it comes to VR technology. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Quest 2, the Quest 2 is a standalone VR headset. It's actually running off of mobile technology. It's running off a Snapdragon processor. It's also running on Android as well. But the biggest benefit of this thing is definitely going to be the fact that this thing again is a standalone VR headset, and that's actually really good because that practically means you can use this anywhere. Of course, you don't have to be connected to, let's say, a PC or a gaming console to actually play VR, and I think this opens up a whole bunch of possibilities that weren't there before, just because you have to be tethered to something, which is really great. And the nice thing about this headset is the fact that you can use it as a standalone VR headset out of the box with no additional equipment, or you can actually plug it into a gaming PC, provided you meet the requirements for VR gaming on a PC. You can actually use something called a Quest Link, I do believe, which is a separate accessory. It is pretty much just a cable that does connect to the Quest 2, and then you connect it to your gaming PC, and you can practically play any VR game that is made for PC on this. So it's nice. You do have the flexibility of a standalone VR headset or a PC VR headset. Of course, it won't be as good as some of the other dedicated PC VR headsets, but it's still nice. You do have that flexibility. Now let's talk about pricing here, because that's where things are very interesting. This headset, bare minimum, will cost you $299 US, and I think that is the cheapest price for any VR headset on the market. So if you just wanted a taste of what VR is currently, $299 is an extremely good price for this thing. But they do make another version of this, which is $399, and the only difference between the $299 one and the $399 one is definitely going to be the storage. This one does come with 64 gig of storage built on, and then the other one does come at $399 with 256 gig. Just note, every application and game that you do install to this thing unfortunately does have to be installed to the internal memory, and that is not upgradable or expandable in any stretch of the imagination. So unfortunately, choose wisely. I had to go with the 64 gig one just due to the fact that these things at the very moment are extremely hard to find. I'm talking about weeks on weeks of back ordering, waiting, and things like that. And I really didn't want to wait, and I just want to play VR, since I know I am a pretty big fan of VR technology. So I decided to go with the 64 gig version of this product. And then when it comes to the upgrades, you may be asking yourself, what type of upgrades does this thing actually have over the Quest 2? Well, there's actually some pretty nice improvements when it actually comes to upgrades. First and foremost is definitely going to be the weight of this thing. Apparently this thing is much more smaller and weighs less, and overall that should be extremely good, because it should mean that your play sessions are going to be longer and going to be more enjoyable and more immersive, just due to the fact that this thing weighs less than the original Quest ever did. Another nice improvement is going to be the fact that this thing already has way more resolution than the original Quest ever has. So again, the immersiveness should be better. Of course, you want the most resolution possible when you're playing VR, so you really feel like you're immersed in your experiences. And then another nice thing with this headset definitely has to be the fact that games will play much more smoother, because this does support, I think, 90 hertz instead of the old 60 hertz that the original Quest actually had. So there's some really nice improvements with this. Honestly, if you are a hardcore gamer and you do play VR all the time and you're holding on to the Quest 1, it may actually be a very good idea to actually get the Quest 2, because at $299 for the entry model, especially if you play VR all the time, this is probably a very nice upgrade for all you Quest 1 owners. And then you can see you got the touch controllers and everything like that. Let's go ahead and look around the box. The only downside, as far as I'm aware with this product, definitely has to be the fact that this thing, you do need a Facebook account to actually use. And I know a lot of people are really up in the air when it comes to Facebook. I know in the past Facebook said they would never require you to use your Facebook login to actually use their products like the Oculus, but it is what it is. For good or worse, you have no choice, and you do have to use a Facebook account there. But you can see on the box, it does say Oculus. This is again the Quest 2. Here it is right here. And yes, this only comes in a white color, but again, that doesn't matter at all, since you're going to be wearing this on your head at all times. You won't be able to see that. And then moving to the top, it does say Oculus on the box. You can see in the top left corner, it does indicate I do own the 64 gig model of this. Again, it does come in at 256 gig if you need more storage, but since they're so hard to find, honestly, I would take either model at this point. And especially if you don't know about VR and this is your first time getting into VR, I would definitely pull the trigger at $299. That's not too bad, considering VR used to be super expensive back in the day and things like that. The barrier to entry has definitely been knocked down a whole bunch. And then inside the box, you do have, of course, the VR headset, 2 touch controllers, 2 AA batteries, power adapter, glasses spacer, which yes, if you wear glasses, you have to wear that. There's no exception to the rule. And then you do have the charging cable in the box as well. And as far as I heard, with this product, you can actually use it while it is charging, so that's nice if this thing does run out of battery, because I did forget to mention this does have a battery. Basically how this works is the headset itself will give you about 2 hours of battery, and depending on what you're doing in the headset, that estimation may vary. And then for the controllers itself, they don't run on rechargeable batteries. They do run on standard AA batteries, but they only use 1 battery apiece. And from what I'm hearing on the internet, the battery life on the AA batteries that are used for the controllers is amazing. You can go weeks on end without killing the batteries at all, so that's great. The real thing you'll have to worry about is the battery on the headset only lasting 2 hours, which for gaming is not long at all, but it is what it is. And I've already cut the plastic here, so it'll make the unboxing a little bit faster. And don't forget, I will be doing a full review after a couple weeks to give you my impressions. And I'll also compare it to things like the PlayStation VR and just other VR headsets on the market. So you can see, here's the box right here. It does have the Oculus logo on it. It's just pretty much a cardboard box. And then it just opens up like that. And there's everything in the box right there. On the lid itself, you can see it does actually have directions on how to use the controllers, how to set up the headset, how to power it on, and things like that. There it is right there. And then of course inside the box you do have a couple of different things. Of course, you do have the touch controllers, you do have the VR headset itself, and then you do have a pouch which I think comes with directions and comes with the power adapter and comes with the cable. Let's go ahead and look at the box first. You can see again it has the Oculus logo. It's just a white box, and inside this box you should get a couple of different things. Yes, it looks like you do get some paperwork on how to use it. I know, nothing too interesting. It does look like you do have a reference guide and a safety and warranty manual right there. There it is right there, 2 Oculus papers. And then alongside that, you do actually get a power brick. And the interesting thing about this power brick is the fact that it is USB Type-C. It's not your standard USB-A cable like some other cell phone chargers. So keep that in mind. It is USB-C again. So the cable in the box is going to be a standard USB-C to a USB-C cable, and here is the USB-C to a USB-C cable right there, and it is fairly long, but I'm not sure how well this is going to work if you are playing games in VR and you need to use it while it's charging. I feel like this could be really short. And then here's the controllers right here, and this is going to be my first time actually picking these things up. And right off the bat, they do feel really plasticky and things like that, but what I can tell you is they do feel pretty nice in the hands, and I do really feel like the weight distribution on these controllers are really nice. They feel overall really solid. The one thing I guess from feeling this controller right now I do not like, which I'll have to wait and see when I play the Quest, is the fact that I don't really like the sticks on the controllers. They feel a little bit too small, kind of like if you ever played the Nintendo Switch with the Joy-Cons. It just feels way too small, but again, we'll have to wait and see. But you can see it has two triggers on the side and the back, and then it does have an A and B button. It does have, like, looks like a home button, an Oculus button. It does have a stick, and the stick does click down, and then it does have, I think, a touchpad. I'm not sure if that is, but it looks like that's a touch sensitive area right there, and there's the controllers. Let me go ahead and see if I can remove the battery door. No, looks like I'm not going to remove the battery door because I don't really know how to remove it, but it's just a standard AA battery, one for each controller. And then the same thing for the left one right here. And of course, just like a Wiimote or anything else, it does have a strap on it, but here's the other one right here. And then of course, the star of the show is going to be the VR headset. But before we look at that, I want to show you the glasses spacers. Again, if you do wear glasses, this is practically a must, and you have no choice. You pretty much have to use this piece, and this piece should go on fairly easy. Another complaint I heard about this, besides some other complaints, is the fact that I heard I heard the strap on this thing is not the most comfortable thing in the world, and it's kind of uncomfortable for some people. It depends on your situation and your use case, depending on who you are. But they do make another strap you can buy on the internet for this thing if this ever does become uncomfortable. And here is the headset itself. You can see it's pretty much an all-white design with an elastic band that just goes around the actual headset. And then looking around the headset, you can see on the front of it, it does have cameras, and those cameras are very important because they do a couple of different things. They allow you to track the controllers when you're using it, to use motion. You can also use hand tracking as well. Some games will allow you to use that. And then on top of that, you can actually control menus with this thing with your hands if you want to, which is very cool. And also you do have a thing called pass-through mode, which pretty much allows you to double tap on the actual headset, and it'll allow you to see your environment while you're playing. So for instance, you're playing a game and you need to open the door, or you need to check your cell phone, or you need to go get a glass of water or go to the restroom. You don't have to take the headset off, which is really cool. And then of course, those cameras on the front also allow you to make a boundary for your play area, because you make a little play area as far as I'm concerned, and that pretty much designates where you're going to be standing in your room, so you need those cameras. So far, this headset doesn't feel too heavy, but it does have some weight to it. I don't know how heavy this thing is, but I know it's significantly smaller and lighter than the original Quest. And then on the sides, I think you do have a power button. Here is the power button right here, my hand's moving. And then you also do have somewhere, I know there's also a speakers in here if you want to use speakers to hear what you're playing. And then there's also microphones, I do believe, as well, so you can talk to people in certain games. But I do believe this thing does have a standard headphone jack. If you have headphones, you can plug in headphones, which is going to be great if you don't want to disturb anybody, or the headphones, or excuse me, the speakers inside of this thing are going to be a little bit too bad off, and you want to be more immersed in your experience, then you would use headphones. Unfortunately, in the box they don't give you headphones, but headphones are easy to find, of course. And then you do have your USB Type-C charging port right there to actually charge this thing. And then there's the lenses inside of this thing. Oh, and on the bottom it does have a plus and minus, which I'm going to assume that's for the volume controls, whether it's for the headphones or maybe for the speakers that are attached to this thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this unboxing of the Oculus Quest 2 from Facebook. That's pretty much it. I will be doing a full review on my YouTube channel, so stay tuned in the future, and I will be going over all my thoughts and opinions on the Quest 2. I'll also be comparing it to things like the PlayStation VR, because that's the one I have the most experience with, and things like that. So stay tuned to the channel, and I'll tell you guys, regret buying this, or do I really think this is worth the money? I think at $2.99, it's a really cheap barrier for entry, especially for VR technology. Like I said before, VR technology used to be quite expensive, and now it's pretty much easier to get access to, especially when they have options like this that is an all-in-one VR headset and you don't need to buy any other equipment to use VR. So anyway, that's about it for this video. This is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.